Right, about this time last year I had to do a job for money, and it's come round again. I've got to do another job. Oh well, let's get on with it. So here we have the gate. As you can probably tell already, it's got a few issues. Let's get it on the table and have a better look. This is an old gate. I'd say it's late Victorian, that sort of era, maybe slightly later than that even. It's got a cast iron panel here, and then these rope twists are cast iron as well, and it's got cast iron finials on the top, and that's all enclosed in a wrought iron frame. One of the indicators of its age, apart from the style of it, is the fact that all the joints here are essentially woodworking joints. This joint here, for instance, tapers down, and then it turns into this bar here, it turns into basically a pin which pokes through here. So they drilled a hole in this and then pinned it over. So it's really nice to see, and it's a good indication of the age of something. So no welding at all went into the making of this gate, and yeah, so it's quite nice to see the old sort of craftsmanship of it. Big kink in the bar there, and I'll adjust that with a sledgehammer. Okay, initially I was going to heat these up with the oxypropane and try and undo them, but I've decided to redo all of these rope twist bars so that they look more consistent when I've finished. So with a bit of paint on that, I think that'll blend in reasonably well. Not a bad rescue. Right. That's it. And you can see how clean it comes out. Now these are cast iron, the body of the gate is wrought iron. So had I tried to clean the rust off using a wire brush and an angle grinder or something like that, it would have taken all the texture out of it and it would have burnished it, which is brilliant for something that you want indoors, but it's not right for the gate. It would have looked very odd. This is a quick look at the actual gate itself. So this is the bottom double heel. This bit goes into the socket in the ground. So yeah, gate's upside down on it. And you can see, possibly you can see this texture is rough, like a very rough sandpaper finish. And again, if you'd used an angle grinder on with a wire brush, you wouldn't have got anywhere near. You would have just taken that away, and if you'd sanded it, it would have looked brand new. So and that's not what you want. So the proper texture of wrought iron is very rough like that, and it's also a superb key for the coating system that I'm going to use on it next. I see it looks slightly brownish. This russet sort of colour is as good as you get on wrought iron at this time of year, just because of the amount of moisture that's in the air. It's autumn time here. In the summer, if it's very arid, you might get it a bit shinier, more like this sort of silver grey finish. Steel comes up really clean and it doesn't oxidise readily. The advantage, of course, is that wrought iron, although you get this brown happens to it, then just the rust doesn't really penetrate. Same cast iron's similar, and that's why the gates still survive. You can see they had no paint on them when I started, and a steel gate in that condition would have just dissolved away. And a quick look at the cast iron panel here. Same sort of thing, it's taken all the oxide off, and it's just come up really lovely and clean, and again it's kept all the proper texture that should be there, so top job. It's almost pure zinc rather than just a zinc rich primer. This is much more protective. It's a bit restrictive on what you can put over it. It's basically only water based stuff over it, but for this, because you can't galvanise cast iron, this is the way to go. I think this is the best protection. Getting there. So again, I'm brushing rather than spraying because I need to work it into all these little hidey away bits, and spraying would just be hard work on that. Besides, I'm getting a lot more paint on there as I'm brushing it, and because this whole gate is heavily textured anyway, a brush finish is quite appropriate. You don't want to make it look too slick. So all in all, even having the option to spray, I would brush this particular one. Spot the repair. This one, just there. I'm inordinately pleased with how that turned out. So there we go, project done and dusted. Not the most exciting project I've done, but nonetheless it's good to do something that I knew how to do, just for a change. Thanks for watching, see you on the next one, cheers.